very much. Hello, Berlin. So we would like to talk for sure about our connected cars and our native in-car payments, the fourth circle you mentioned. And yeah, I would like to start maybe with the first slide. Yeah.
Next slide, please.
Yeah. So, yeah, Mercedes-Benz. Mercedes-Benz has a glorious tradition in developing cutting-edge technologies as well as pioneering in safety and security. And right now we are on our journey to become a software-driven company as Mercedes-Benz Group. And for this, we develop in two main pillars. The one pillar is digitalization, and the second pillar is product innovation. With digitalization, we mean that we focus on enriching the customer's engagement to a direct sales model, which means our Mercedes-Benz customers can buy goods and services from Mercedes-Benz in an online channel as well as in the traditional way with our dealerships. One example, since January, we are live with our full car payment use case in the UK, which means customers in the UK can buy and pay a Mercedes-Benz car fully digital, so to say out of their living room instead of going to the dealership for that. The second pillar is a product innovation, and our fantastic colleagues from R&D are developing a complete new and perfectly combined operating system for our vehicles, which means they combine the vehicle hardware with all the sensors, cameras, and so on in a perfect manner with software modules. And therefore, our customers can enjoy, added to the fantastic cost for sure, they can enjoy digital services in the areas infotainment, body and comfort services, for sure autonomous driving, and connected services around the car like fueling, charging, and so on, directly in the car with the MBUX infotainment system. So you may ask yourself maybe, okay, and how does Mercedes Pay fit into all of that? And that's what I would like to talk about a little bit. So Mercedes Pay in a nutshell is the fintech branch of the Mercedes-Benz Group. With that, we are developing state-of-the-art and innovative payment services. We provide secure, scalable, and seamless payment services for the entire Mercedes-Benz ecosystem. So with our so-called global payment platform, and this is our orchestration platform to handle all the complexity in the different payment markets globally, we provide the best fitting payment service for every use case the Mercedes-Benz ecosystem would like to have for its customers. Yeah, and with that, we support the digitalization strategy of Mercedes-Benz, and we do it in serving our customers in all interaction channels, which means it doesn't matter if they are at home and purchase via web, if they are with their phone and their app, or if they are in car with the MBUX infotainment system. And we think the in-car channel is a really important one, and that's why we focus on in-car payments. And I think 3 weeks ago, we announced our very new product, Mercedes Pay Plus, which enables seamless in-car payment with a delegated authentication function, which means our customers can authenticate their transactions via fingerprint in their car, just like you do with your mobile phone. So we will talk a little bit later about that in detail. But first, I would like to ask Eric to talk a little bit about how we do handle the complexity of payment.
Yeah, Michelle, you mentioned the complexity a couple of times, if you noticed, and complexity is something we live and breathe complexity. We are a nice German legacy-driven company, so we love complexity. But also, Mercedes Pay, what we love to do is we like to solve complexity. So you mentioned a couple of examples, and we as Mercedes Pay, Mercedes-Benz, we're a global company. Therefore, Mercedes Pay, we need to offer global solutions. And what we mean by global, right now we're live in 44 markets, but we will go live in a couple of years in 65 markets. Those are the core Mercedes-Benz countries. In each of these markets, you might have different departments, different legal entities, different merchants. So right now, I think last time we counted, we arrived at 1,200 merchants, still counting. Every day there will be new merchants. So what are these merchants doing? Some of them are selling digital services, digital upgrades, software upgrades, hardware upgrades for your car, but of course also auxiliary services. So that might be parking, for example, or fueling, or any other services, might be leasing, might be financing, might be online vehicle sales. No matter what our ingenious colleagues in the marketing and sales departments of our glorious company can think of, we're trying to find the right solutions. And I'll give you a couple of more examples in a bit. But that complexity, of course, is also including the sales channels. As Steffi mentioned, for us, the most emotional, the most important sales channel is the car, because this is a prime selling opportunity. For us, this is where our consumers are actually touching, feeling, smelling our cars. So for us, it's the best opportunity to interact with them. And I show you a couple of interaction points that our consumers already have. So what you see here on that slide, those are all live use cases. So nothing that is planned or soon to be live, that is all live. So a couple of them I would like to go into the detail. So we start, of course, with online vehicle sales. And as Steffi mentioned, we're on a path, the whole company is on a true path towards digital. And digital sometimes also means direct sales. And direct sales in certain markets means that customers can order their cars directly from us, directly from Mercedes-Benz, and naturally, they need to pay for it. So I don't know about you, I cannot pay a car with a credit card. At some point, if I work hard, I will be able to. Of course, I'm still hopeful, I'm young. I will be able to purchase that. But right now, that's impossible. So I'm not the only one. Therefore, we introduced, together with trusted partner Trustly, in the UK, we launched an open banking solution that customers, as Steffi mentioned, can purchase their cars from wherever they want, directly online. And we're talking here about basket sizes that are, let's say, significant. And because we produce high-value vehicles, luxurious vehicles, they come at a certain price point. But then if we go along the customer journey, back from the purchase phase, we also do reservation payments or down payments or other forms of online vehicle sales. In the usage phase, this is where it gets interesting about when I say about turning or doing payment transactions and really interacting with our consumers. So there, a great example is the fueling use case, where you drive to a gas station, you pick your fuel out of your in-car display, you pay for it, you drive away. The same is true for on-street parking. You're driving in the street in your preferred city, you see an open spot, you park there. Through geofencing, geolocation, it's recognized this is a parking spot. One click, parking is started, payment is started. You do your chores, you come back, one click again, parking and payment is finished, and you don't have to worry about that. So these are examples of how we try to improve the satisfaction of our customers, and we do that through focusing really on the customer experience. So sometimes that means taking away a couple of steps in the payment process, like with the parking examples. But depending on the use case, that also means that sometimes we need to explain certain transactions, certain payment transactions a bit more to the consumers. That really depends on the use case. I mentioned basket sizes, and this is really a big issue, a big topic for us. A parking ticket has a basket size of 5 or 8 euros, a car a bit more, and then there's also something in between, like digital services, digital upgrades, software upgrades, hardware upgrades for our cars. So we as Mercedes-Benz, we have to cater to all of these different needs in all of the markets. Therefore, we are partnering with leading technology companies, and we do that not to just bring innovation to the market, but in the end, it's about having a convenient customer experience for end consumers. And we try to make it as seamless as possible. And one of the most seamless ways of paying, especially in the car, is paying with Mercedes-Benz Plus. Steffi.
Yeah. Thank you, Eric. So now the moment where you all waited for the last minutes, I guess. So it's our native in-car payment. We call it Mercedes-Benz Plus, our new product. And as mentioned before, we enable payment over all channels, web, app, and in-car, which means our customers already in the past were able to purchase products with their in-car payment app, like fueling, charging, parking, but they needed to enter their PIN into the car display or to pull out their smartphone and authenticate the transaction with a smartphone. And this is a media break and a friction in the customer experience, which we overcome now with our native in-car payment. So we have biometric authentication via fingerprint for our customers in the car. And now they can pay just with a tip of their thumb and can authorize the transaction. So technically, we are using a cloud token framework and delegated authentication. In general, we are scheme agnostic, which means we started with one scheme, but we will provide as much payment schemes for our customers as we need for good coverage. So now you may think, why is that a big deal? We think it's a big deal because these 3DS requirements led to frictions in the payment experience for the customers, and so also to a significant drop in the conversion rate of e-commerce. And with this Mercedes-Benz Plus product, we increased both the customer experience and the conversion rate of e-commerce in-car. And looking forward, what our R&D colleagues are developing, we see a huge potential in in-car commerce, and we see a huge development for the in-car commerce channel as a new revenue channel. And I think, Eric, it's a big deal.
Yeah, it is a huge deal, absolutely. So you might ask yourself, so what are these guys selling actually in the car when you talk about a software or hardware upgrade? So one example is you buy a car from the secondary market, a used car, and it's not up to your specifications. Well, we might solve that. For example, I have my father always as an example. He just bought a car and he forgot to purchase rear axle steering, which is amazing to find to go into your tightest parking spots because the car basically turns on its own. And he's just able to reconfigure the car, buying a hardware upgrade like rear axle steering or high beam lights or adaptive lights. All of that is possible. But if you think just a little into the future about autonomous services, we're already leading there, but more and more services will be able to be released over the air, software updates, hardware upgrades, everything that you are basically able to do on your phone. We believe that the car is also an optimal sales channel for that. So everything that might help to have a more convenient, a more seamless journey, we want to bring into the car. And therefore, it's so vital, it's so important that we have a native in-car payment solution that people actually like to use. If our solution is too complex, too fragmented, too many media breaks, then our consumers will not use it. And they can expect the best from a brand like Mercedes-Benz. So therefore, we invest heavily into these solutions, and we're incredibly proud of this fingerprint payment. And we'll add more and more services and solutions in the upcoming weeks, months, and years. And we try to, of course, roll it out on a global scale. So we believe that the car itself is a prime selling point for Mercedes-Benz or for car manufacturers. And with that, I would like to thank you for your attention and hand over to Claire.